Welcome to RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network with your hostess, Jen Josie. Join like-minded real estate investors and accelerate your business towards greatness. You will hear step-by-step strategies for success, interviews with real estate rock stars, and we will dig deep into past projects where we bear it all, including the good, the bad, and some just plain ugly. So get excited. Here's the bestower of badassery herself, the real Jen Josie. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm Jen Josie, creator of RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network. Whoop, whoop. Today's episode is about sleeping with your business partner. Yep, I said it. Today's episode is based on one of my past blogs, and it was titled, I Slept with My Business Partner, 5 Systems to Follow When Starting a Business with Your Spouse. I had great reviews on it, so I'm going to share it with you today. But before we begin, here is today's badassery bestowment, my little badass gift to you. When you are picking marketing material, say business cards, postcards, whatever it is, put your picture on it. People will pick a business that has a face to it so they feel like they can relate to it more. So that is my little badass gift to you. Now, on to today's episode. And again, it's I Slept with My Business Partner, 5 systems to follow when starting a business with your spouse. So I always struggled with commitment. It should be of no surprise that I didn't get married until I was almost 40 years old. My husband Vance and I dated briefly. We broke up, but we remained friends. Guess he had a commitment issue as well. It wasn't until years later I needed a last-minute date to my cousin's wedding in New Orleans when I realized that he was the one. It also could have been the multiple hand grenades we drank in the French Quarter. In dealing with my commitment phobia, I have learned that when another person is involved, I have to create systems. This is to insulate not only my decision to commit, but also to protect the other person's sanity when associating with me. Vance and I did some premarital counseling at our church and were given some great tools for a happy marriage. We were asked if there are any issues we'd like to discuss, and immediately I brought up our morning routine. Vance loves to talk and talk and talk. I found myself wanting to throat punch him even before the sun came up. Our pastor suggested we limit all conversations to, quote, good morning, end quote, until Jen finished a cup of coffee. Perfect. System created. I am now able to wake up and enjoy my morning brew in peace while Vance's esophagus remains intact. Almost 6 years into our happy marriage, we decided to open our real estate investment business. This was a commitment I was excited about. I was excited to quit my corporate America job. I was excited to make my own schedule every day. I was excited for the next chapter in our life. I was excited for the financial freedom. I was not excited to think our pillow talk could recede into business talk. This new commitment was sure to have its challenges. We were committed to our new business, but we needed to maintain the commitment we had towards each other to sustain our happy marriage. We learned early that communication is important for a marriage, but 10 times more important if you're in business with your spouse. Here are 5 systems that worked for us. Number 1, define your roles. Real estate investing has many moving parts, so you must decide who will be in charge of the following. There's marketing, acquisitions, finances, construction management, property sales, and business development. Sit down together and write out each one of those at the top of a sheet of paper, then discuss the tasks required for each one of those roles and list them on the page. Next, take 2 highlighters, one color for you and one color for your spouse, and assign each task. It's okay to have both of you share a role, but it's important to be specific on how that role is split up. For example, under construction management, I hire all our contractors and coordinate their schedules at the work site, but Vance manages their contracts and invoicing. Lastly, display these papers in your office for you to reference. There will be times when tasks may start to fall through the cracks, and you both need to revisit roles and responsibilities and change ownership of those tasks. Number 2, determine time commitment. Work-life balance can be very tricky, especially if you have children. When expectations are set on how much time each week will be devoted to the business, it's important to honor those expectations. It is so easy to get sucked into your business dealings, especially when it's your passion. So set a quitting time each day and stick to it. Don't forget to schedule date nights. And by the way, looking at properties is not romantic. If you need more time to grow your business, try waking up an hour earlier so you are not taking away from family time. Take advantage of your commute time by turning off the radio and listening to some real estate podcasts to expand your education. You may also be in a situation where one of you is running the business full time while the other is still working their W-2 gig. Roles decided in the previous systems may need to be dispersed differently since one of you has a lot more time to put towards the business. When I quit my job and ran the business full time, I actually carried a lot of guilt. I was finally experiencing the freedom to make my own schedule, not apply makeup, change my work wardrobe to jeans and t-shirts, take long lunches when I wanted to, all while Vance was still reporting to the man. Having just left a micromanager that would call your ass out the second your Skype status switched to inactive, remember I had to wiggle the mouse, I struggled with having to justify any non-business thing I did throughout the day. Every once in a while, I'd steal a little cat nap after lunch, and when I woke up fully recharged, I felt like I was letting Vance down. I finally told him about my midday shut-eye sessions, expecting to see disappointment take over his expressions. Instead, he reminded me that anyone who holds a job takes breaks throughout the day. Why would I be any different? The lesson learned here is to not forget to balance my work life as well. Number 3, complete professional assessments. When you start a new job, many employers require new employees to complete assessments to learn about their skills, knowledge, cognitive ability, emotional intelligence, personality, etc. Even though you may feel like you know your spouse better than anyone on this planet, do not skip this part. You and your spouse are taking on completely new roles within your marriage, and it's always best to defer to the professionals. Vance and I followed the advice of one of our coaches and took the DISC test and the Core Values Index. It exposed our strengths and weaknesses prior to starting our business, so assigning roles was so much easier. Our coach also had us rate each other on personal competencies. While I thought it was obvious Vance was skilled at our finances, he had never heard me say it. This was a huge boost to his confidence, thus revealing the leadership already inside of him. You can find tons of these free versions of the DISC test and the Core Values Index online. All you got to do is ask the Google. Number 4, create goals. Visualizing the future of your business is essential, but sharing the same perspective with your partner can be challenging. One of you may see the business taking over the world while the other is much more conservative. Take the time to collaborate your vision by writing SMART goals together. Vance and I escape to our cabin every December to write out our goals for the next year. We first reflect on the previous year's goals and use it as a tool to make better predictions for the upcoming year. Taking the time to choose your goals together allows you to align your vision. We do annual business SMART goals, a monthly SMART goal, and a personal SMART goal. If you have never written a SMART goal, check out my blog, Be Smart with Your Goals. And you can find that at rainmastermind.com under blogs. Number 5, weekly meetings. When I worked in corporate America, I dreaded our mandatory weekly meetings. I thought, why have a meeting when this could just be an email? Truth be told, emails would never get read, and we all know it. I also secretly found it entertaining to listen to Karen from the other side of cubicle land ask all her stupid questions that were just answered literally 90 seconds prior. There were a few other positives. You could see wedding photos, there were sports rivalries an hour away from my desktop computer, not to mention the endless supply of Krispy Kreme donuts. From a business perspective, I must admit, it was important to touch base with coworkers to make sure everyone was on the same page, even if those pages were sprinkled with a little donut glaze. So, when it comes to your spouse, even though you see each other day in and day out, the importance of being strategic with your weekly meetings does not go away because you share a toothbrush holder. The biggest mistake a couple can make is to assume these topics will be addressed on their own. Our weekly team meetings have been the key to keeping our communication open so there are no surprises in our business. Vance and I meet every Sunday evening at 5 p.m. in our office. We sit across from each other with our laptops open and complete a spreadsheet that has evolved over the years. We have one spreadsheet for each year with tabs of the meeting dates along the bottom. Each meeting, we review the previous meeting, add our finance report and project update. We then pick out our wins, a theme, and then discuss our stucks for the week ahead. As mentioned before, it's so important to discuss these items, for you should never assume the other is in agreement. I spend all week visiting work sites. I share with Vance the highlights throughout the week, but when I summarize the project update on our spreadsheet, it's a focused recap of anything I may have missed sharing with him in passing. The next section is a tally of all the measurable objectives from our SMART goals. The 2020 SMART goal check-in is a running tally for the year. To accomplish these goals, we have supplemental monthly SMART goals that reset each month. The monthly SMART goal check-in includes tasks that, when completed, give us a better chance at accomplishing the yearly goals. Including a SMART goal check-in during your weekly meeting keeps a spotlight on your target. The bottom half of our spreadsheet incorporates our weekly goals. This puts attention on the growth of our company. While having a meeting just to have a meeting can get annoying, the last entry typically ends up being the highlight of our meeting. When you work with your spouse, you are always harder on your family, so it's important to express gratitude. Adding a Bravo boost gives your partner a chance to brag about something great you did in the business that week. Receiving that boost allows you to end the meeting on a positive note. Now, while commitment can be tough, adding systems to run your business successfully with the most important person in your life is crucial. I hope you find these systems for a happy marriage and a happier business beneficial. So that's it. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you on the next episode. Now go out there and share your badassery and make it a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Whoop whoop.
Thank you for listening to RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. If you need more badassery, you can follow Jen Josie by visiting therealjenjosie.com or become a member of RAIN by registering on rainmastermind.com.